Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another live stream for this season's Champions League 2023/2024. And as you can see on the screen, I'm doing both of them at the same time since both of these big games will be kicking off at the same time, 8 p.m., which is about 10 minutes time. So on my left, you can see I put it's Bayern Munich versus Manchester United at the Allianz Arena in Germany. So this is going to be a really tough test for Manchester United, but anything can happen. So let's see if they could put in a much better performance as they did last time. But in that game, I see Man United not winning that game. So if you're a Manchester United fan, you must be worried for that game. So there we go. So on my left side of your screen is Man United versus Bayern Munich. And then on the right hand side is Arsenal, who are back in the Champions League for the first time since 7th of March 2017 when they lost 5-1 against Bayern Munich at the Emirates Stadium under Arsene Wenger, and they are finally back. 6 years of waiting, and they are finally back, and they're at home against PSV. So when they hear that Champions League song at the Emirates Stadium, they are going to feel happy and relaxed and say to themselves, I'm so glad I finally get to hear that song instead of that stupid Europa League song because I know these people. So yeah, they'll be happy. So Bayern Munich versus Man United, also versus PSV, kicking off the same time, 8 p.m. Now, before I tell you guys the lineup, let me give you updates for the earlier kickoff game. So, um, Glass Galatasaray versus FC Copenhagen ended in a 2-2 draw. Um, and it looks like Galatasaray scored two late goals here in 2 minutes because they were 2-0 down. Copenhagen did have a red card, and when you got a red card, you got no chance of winning. So yeah, so Boye scored in the 86th minute, then 2 minutes later it was Tete. So Galatasaray came from 2-0 down to make it 2-2. So that's good for them. And then I just saw the goal for the Real Madrid versus FC Union Berlin game, and that game ended at 1-0. And it looks like the away team put up a really tough test against the best European team, Real Madrid, but they managed to lose 1-0. So the and plus, this is Union Berlin's first time ever in the Champions League in their history, first ever time. So they want to, and so this close to getting a decent point against the best team in the world, Real Madrid. But Jude Bellingham, who lost one against Real Madrid, has scored again, and that's his first Premier League, first Champions League goal as a Real Madrid player. So well done to Jude Bellingham. So who was but Jude Bellingham? So he's the saviour. So I expected Real Madrid to win probably 2-0, 3-0. But if I didn't win 1-0, it's good enough for them. But I think Union Berlin will be disappointed to lose that game. I will watch the highlights though. But yeah, I just saw the goal and it was 1-0. So yeah, so Real Madrid are 1-0 up. And those are the two 5:40 p.m. kickoff games. And I'm going to be telling you the other games that will be kicking off at 8 p.m. So we got Sporting Braga up against Napoli. That should be a good game. And I think Napoli will beat them because they are last season's champions. So I do think they'll beat them. We got Arsenal against PSV. That's the game I'll be covering. And I'm going to give you my predictions for that game later on. We got Sevilla versus Lens, and of course, this is first time since RC Lens have been in the Champions League, so well done to them. But I think Sevilla will win them because they are the holders of the Europa League, so they'll beat our Lens in this game. Then we got Benfica against Salzburg. They should be a really good game because Salzburg are a really good side, especially in Australia. But I think Benfica, they've won they're in Portugal last season, so I expect them to be RB Salzburg. It ain't going to be easy, but I think they'll win. Then we got Will Sociedad, Kieran Tierney. I'm not sure if he's going to be making his start tonight, but they're up against Inter. Now, of course, Inter will win this game because you saw what they did against AC Milan. They absolutely destroyed them at San Siro. So they're away from home. It's going to be a tough game for them, but I think Inter Milan will get the job done. And then last and not least is Bayern Munich versus Manchester United. Should be a good game. Tough for Manchester United especially because, yeah, Bayern Munich are in first place. They only dropped points against, was it against Frankfurt or something like that in their last game? I'm not sure what their last game, but they only dropped points to that team. But other than that, they remain unbeaten. But for Manchester United, they're below the top 10. They're below the top 10. So I expect it to be a really tough game for Manchester United. So, yeah, those are the 8 p.m. kickoff games. And the only two I'm focusing is Bayern Munich, Man United, and Arsenal versus PSV. So let me first of all give you the lineup for the Manchester United versus Bayern Munich game. So it looks like Bayern Munich has gone for a 4-2-3-1 in this game. So in goal, we've got Uluage, who looks like he's the number one instead of Manuel Neuer. And at right back, we've got Lamar, the former Tottenham player. We've got Alphonso Davies, who's a really sick player. He plays as a left back. Then we've got Kimmich and Upamecano. That's the really two good centre backs there. Then we've got Joshua Kimmich and Guete playing as a two pivot to the person that's sitting behind them, the attackers. They got Leroy Sané, the former Manchester City player. He's playing as a right wing. We've got Musiala playing as the number 10, central attacking midfielder. We've got Serge Gnabry, the former Arsenal player. He plays on the left wing. And Harry Kane, the former Tottenham player, is playing up top tonight. So that is a very, very strong lineup for Bayern Munich. For Man United, they've got the same formation, a 4-2-3-1. Their lineup looks like this. Andre Onana starts in goal. They've got Serge Reguilon, who is back in the Champions League after missing out for Tottenham last season. So, yep, he starts today. We've got Duluth playing as right back, so Reguilon playing as left back. We've got Lisandro Martinez and Lindelof playing finally back in the Champions League after they missed out last season. So they start. They've got Christian Eriksen and Casemiro, who's finally back in the Champions League, so well done to him. They're playing alongside the two pivot. They've got Watford playing as a left wing. But let's do we. I never heard of this guy's name before. It looks like that could be his debut tonight instead of maybe Anthony. So very interesting to see him start. Of course, Bruno Fernandes, who is the captain, he's playing as a number 10. Then you've got Rasmus Højlund, who is starting up top. And and it looks like Anthony Martial will be sitting on the bench. So strong lineup for both teams. And this is a big game. You have to go out strong because this is not the Europa League or the Conference League. This is the UEFA Champions League. So you have to go out strong. So pretty strong lineup for both teams there. Right, let me do the Arsenal PSV one. So very quickly before I turn on the game. So in goal, they got David Weyer. Interesting, because I would have thought that Ramsdale would be starting since he hasn't been in the Champions League ever in his career. I would have thought that Ramsdale would be starting, but it looks like Mikel Arteta was impressed by David Weyer for the game against Everton, kept a clean sheet, brilliant performance. So, yeah, if David Weyer keeps this up, then I feel like Ramsdale will be the number 2, which many Arsenal fans will not like to see. But yeah, he starts in goal. They've got Ben White playing as a right back, Zinchenko playing as a left back, Gabriel and William Saliba playing as the two centre-backs. They've got Odegaard playing as a wide midfielder. Havertz on the left, which for me that doesn't make any sense because Havertz, when he starts, he doesn't perform. So, but let's see if he can prove it wrong. Because if I was an Arsenal fan, I would have Fabio Vieira starting instead of Kai Havertz. But it's Mikel Arteta's choice. Declan Rice playing as the number 6, which you all know that's his best position, the central defence midfielder. And then on the left, we've got Leandro Trossard. Now, he's going to be covering Gabriel Martinelli because he had a slight injury in the game against Everton. So, he's out for this game tonight, and he's going to be very disappointed. So, Leandro Trossard playing on the left. Gabriel Jesus is up top instead of Edin Nketiah. And I feel like that's the right decision because Edin Nketiah hasn't got Champions League experience. It's only Gabriel Jesus since, Man City are always in the Champions League every season. So he starts. And Bukayo Saka is finally going to be able to play in the Champions League. So well done to him. Their formations are 4-for-3. So a very strong lineup under Mikel Arteta for Arsenal. For PSV, they're going for a 4-2-3-1. That's interesting. So in goal, they've got Benitez. They've got Teze playing as a right back. Dez play as a left back. Belossi and Balea playing as the two centre backs. They've got, let me just see this one. They got Joey and JD as the two pivot, the person that's sitting behind the attacking midfielders. They got Sablasi playing as the number 10, Lam playing as a left wing, Bakayo playing as a right wing, and finally De Jong playing up top. Now for this game, I'm going to have to go for an Arsenal 2-1 win because when these two face each other, PSV made it difficult for Arsenal. So I expect this game to be really tough for Arsenal because PSV are on top of the league. They've won every single game in the Netherlands in Edisonville. They've won every game. So I expect this game to be really tough for the Gunners. But I think they'll win. And they have to. So there we go. So I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. The goal scorers for me tonight is going to be Gabriel Jesus and Leandro Trossard. Those are going to be the goal scorers for tonight's game. For the Bayern Munich versus Man United game, sorry to say this for your Manchester United fans, but I have to go for Bayern Munich win of probably. Oh God, hold on, guys. Let me just give me a minute. Oh. Um. So yeah, I have to go for Bayern Munich win of probably maybe 2-0. Yeah, something like that. Because Man United this season have been looked poor. They have looked poor. I mean, they've done it again. Man, I hate this, you know. Anyway, yeah, but Man United have already had a great start. They've only won 2 wins in 6 games, and those games were Wolves and Molineux. Yeah, sorry, no, Wolves at home and Nottingham Forest at home. The way they've lost 3 games: Arsenal, Tottenham, and Brighton. So yeah, I mean, if you're a Manchester United fan, you must be worried. You should be and must be worried in this game because Bayern Munich have a much better. Well, they have to go on a better squad than Man United, but the way they play and under the new manager, they have to fear. They have to fear about this team. So, yeah, under the lights in the stadium, it's packed, 60,000 fans. Of course, there's about 3,000 PSV fans in the stadium. So, there we go. And of course, as always, before the game kicks off tonight, there's going to be a minute silence to deflect on what happened during the Monaco earthquake that started off about 2 weeks ago. So my heart falls so Arsenal and PSV fans will send their condolences and their heartfelt prayers go out to everyone who's died from Morocco and Libya. So the referee will start and will be quiet, and then after that it will end on the referee's whistle. So there we go. Right, let me just sort this out. So there we go. The minute silence is up. Now let me just so Arsenal fans are huddling. They are back in the Champions League for the first time since 2017. I was about to say 2016. Now which one is which? Okay, this one. Setting. Let me do this quickly. Oh, go away, man.